So, I talked to Funko. Over the last few days, it feels like the entire internet has been talking about Funko having 1 year left before they're gone forever. This was an article released by Dexerto after Funko's Q3 2025 reports. It's where they talk to investors to let them know things that they've done recently, how revenue is going, as well as stuff that's going to be coming in the future. The weirdest part about this entire thing, though, too, is that this article has actually since been taken down. It was up for about 2 days and then removed entirely. But the headline stated that Funko just admitted that they might not survive another year. Sales are down 14%, debt is piling up, and the company says there's substantial doubt it can keep operating. All of this made the 18 million people that saw that clickbait title go into a frenzy, with very few people researching more about it. I haven't been able to go 2 scrolls anywhere on any social media platform without seeing people saying that they are so sad that Funko's going away in a year, or that they're happy about it. And this is, of course, with everything. There's always somebody who loves a product and hates a product, but when people think that a product is going to be going away, those haters, they tend to come out a little more. Anyways, though, getting back on track here, once this article released, I had to get to the bottom of this. And so with what I do every day, being pops as well as collectibles, I have a couple contacts over at Funko, and I reached out to them to see what they had to say, and they replied. The first thing is Funko at an immediate risk of shutting down? No, with the Q3 2025 earnings showing a 14% decrease in sales, Funko did report improved margins, strong performances in new product launches like Bitty Pop, and highlighted operational changes under the new CEO. Josh Simons was formerly over at Netflix, but has now been Funko's CEO for just 60 days. I personally am really excited about what has to come with him, because what I've heard so far is pretty amazing, and we'll get into that in a bit. And now with this all being said, Funko is not at risk and expects to be in business for many years to come. I also reached out to an accountant, and I think this is interesting, so let me read it. They found that there was a loss for a 9-month period that ended September 30th. So the last 3 months has been a pretty substantial turnaround for them. A big contributor to the problems are tariffs that come along with importing products and Funko eating the costs that go along with them. So what I'm getting from this is that because of the tariffs, Funko is making a little bit less. They're eating a lot of the costs, still having to raise costs a little bit, but that's why they only made just less than $1 million, but they're still in the green. Not a lot, but it's there, and it's improving, which is super exciting. Now, how is Funko positioning itself for future growth? They're going to be driving growth through its make culture pop strategy. This will be happening by tapping into pop culture trends and making innovative products like Bitty Pop. I actually grabbed one of my favorite Bitty products that I had to show off today because this really is innovative in my opinion. This is a Bitty Pop Bitty Bot. It's almost a regular size Funko Pop that has a little Bitty inside of it. If you want to check him out, this is Soundwave, and then when you open him up, there is Rumble. So many people were pumped when Funko announced Bitty Bots, so I'm hoping that in the future they continue with stuff like this. Also, under their new leadership, they're trying to be more efficient with their operations, and what I'm hoping this means is that they're going to be doing more pre-order figures. Everybody always talks about how many pops we see in stores just sitting there, but I think if they're able to do the pre-order model like they did with K-Pop Demon Hunters, where you picked them up before they were even created, they're not guessing and maybe making way too many of one character, not enough of another. They can do the perfect amount because you've already ordered it and told them what you want. They also, within the last few months, just renewed a few licensing partnerships with several multi-year agreements. They're also going to be diversifying their revenue base, and all of this coming together is just fueling them for long-term success. Now, everybody, let's get the laptop back out and talk about the new things that are coming soon with Funko. And for anybody wondering, all of this was mentioned during their Q3 2025 earnings call, and I will have that linked in the description down below. Cosmetics, footwear, food, fashion, sports, music, and K-pop products all coming in 2026, 2027. Now, for some of this here, I don't exactly know what it means. Is it going to be a new Funko product coming out, or is it going to be just a new pop that we can add to our collection? One thing that I could think of here, and I actually grabbed it because this was something that Funko came out with years ago, is this Funko Pop, or I believe it was like Soda Pop is what they called it. Pop Soda. They've got a couple different pops and soda names. I had to remember. But something like this, where, you know, it isn't exactly what they do all the time, but it is still something that I know a lot of people would love to collect just because of how unique it is. Or are they going to be doing something maybe like collaborating with, I don't know, I'm just trying to throw names out here, like Liquid Death. I know that they've done a bunch of collaborations collections in the past. Maybe they could do one where like the character on the front is popified. That could be interesting. Also, going back to this here, footwear and fashion. Is it going to be, you know, Funko creating their own shoes? Are they going to be collaborating with Crocs? Because I would love that. Or maybe are they going to be doing something with Nike? That could be a really cool thing because I know that Netflix has partnered with Nike in the past. Maybe because Josh Simons, the new CEO, did work over at Netflix. He has connections, who knows? Either way though, this all sounds super interesting. And then coming to music and K-pop, I don't really know. I know that Funko's made vinyl in the past, especially with there being Mondo. That's another company that they own that actually makes their own vinyl records. Maybe Mondo and Funko could somehow join forces and create like popified versions of records. I would love to see that. It'd be interesting. There's so many possibilities. Walmart Biddy Pop displays coming for 2026 along with more Biddy licenses. If you guys don't know, over at Target, they already have a Biddy display that you can find in a lot of their collector spots, which I think is so cool, and I'm a big fan of it. It's just neat to be able to see them out of box and kind of like in their own element, instead of it just being in a little box on the shelf. It's cool to have, almost like those displays you'd see in the Lego section. It's probably pretty smart for kids to be like, I want that. And also with them wanting to do more Biddy licenses, I think this is a perfect way for us to get a little bit more obscure characters because, you know, maybe not everybody wants a full 4-inch size figure, but I know when it comes to the One Piece collection, there was a lot of characters in the Biddy line that we don't have in regular size. So maybe that could be something that we get more of in the future because it makes me want to pick up the Biddies even more when it helps complete my collection of different characters that now have pops. Expanding into more mystery mini licenses. Now this is something that I am a big fan of, and actually, funny enough, I grabbed a couple of my mystery minis. I have them inside of here. I don't really know why, but I don't know. I'm a big fan of the SpongeBob collection, and if you guys want to check them out, here's a few of them that I have. I'm a big fan of them. You guys seem to really like them whenever I do mystery mini videos, so I'm hoping if they can do more mystery stuff like that in the future, I would love to do it, and I would totally pick them up and make videos on them as well. It just goes along with what is actually happening in the world right now. Everybody's loving blind boxes. Everybody's loving mystery things. I think it just totally makes sense to really bring them back in full force. More hype / trending products out quicker, and now this one here feels very similar to how they would have done for K-pop Demon Hunters. I talked about them earlier, but they were so quick to get those out. People loved them. I made videos about them. I've actually got the entire set pre-ordered. And because they were able to get out those first couple figures, I know that they've slowly been making more for the K-pop Demon Hunter collection. Like when I went over to my local GameStop, I was actually able to pre-order Pocket Pop versions of those original characters that should be releasing around the same time as the others, it sounded like. I have a feeling that this way is probably the best way to do it because they're not like anticipating that people are going to be excited. They just know people are excited about it and are creating them around it. Working with more content creators. Well, I guess that technically could mean me. I don't know what that means. Maybe they're going to be going into more content creator spaces and not just doing like Funko content creators, but let's say you're a big fan of Wicked, you've been making Wicked videos, Funko sends over a couple of your Wicked figures, people get excited about that. I don't know. But whatever it is, could it be products with content creators? Could it be, you know, just making videos with content creators? Whatever it is, I am pumped about it because we could be seeing some of that possibly on the channel in the future. I don't know. Plans to expand more into Asia and Latin American countries. Now this totally makes sense because from what I've heard, those countries don't actually have a lot of Funko products in general. So for this kind of thing, they might be able to boost sales without even really making any more products. They just bring the products to the people that want them. Now, of course, they could be making some exclusives that go to those places, and I think that could be really interesting as well. But I think for the most part, just getting them there in the first place is pretty smart. One big thing that I have seen recently, and I don't know if you guys have checked it out before, over on Funko.com, when you pick the country, they actually have so many different ones available now because Funko.com does Funko Europe, they have Canada, Mexico, and I believe maybe some Asian countries, but not all, or not many, that's for sure. So even though everybody, Funko is not in a perfect spot right now, they are definitely better than they have been in a while. And another thing that we need to remember, everybody, is just to collect what you like and do not just read clickbait titles. Do a little bit more research before you get too worried or excited about something. And anyways, though, I am so excited to see what Funko has in store for us in the future, and I cannot wait to be collecting for years to come.